Okay, boys, I think I've caused enough harm to Tonk for a lifetime. So, today I'm going to do something different. I have had 3 great ideas for Tonk, and I'm going to tell you about them in this video, and then hopefully Otter and Chems are going to see it and decide to implement these ideas in some way. Don't get me wrong, Tonk is really fun, but these 3 ideas are going to significantly improve the variety and replayability of every single run you do inside Tonk. The first great idea for Tonk that I had was difficulty modifiers. You would be able to toggle difficulty modifiers before you start a run. And what these difficulty modifiers would do is they would apply to every single wave inside the run, and they would increase XP bonuses and coin bonuses that you get after that run, depending on how many you have activated. For example, some of the difficulty modifiers that you could enable would be ×2 upgrade cost, 2 challenges, 3 challenges. I'm going to talk about the challenges later, and buffed enemies, elite enemies, and I guess we could put friendly fire in here. I know it is currently implemented in every game. Some people may not like it. And as you can see, some of the modifiers are marked to be more difficult and some are marked as less difficult. The more difficult one is, the more it increases your earnings at the end of a run. And just to give you some examples of what I mean by buffed enemies, that would just mean that basically just all their stats in general are buffed a little bit, including the bosses. And then elite enemies, I guess you could spawn, just like as normal enemies, you could spawn more like unique vehicles. And then the challenges are going to be part of my next idea, which I might as well get into now. My second idea for Tonk is wave types. Basically, after every wave, you would get an option to pick one of maybe 2 or 3 different wave types. There would always be just a normal wave for all the boring people who don't want to do a different wave type for some reason. And there could be a challenge wave, and then there could be kind of just like a different type of wave. I don't know. The types of waves aren't really important. It's just to add more variety so that each wave is different, you know? So it's not just the same every time. Let's say, for example, you pick the challenge wave. The challenge wave is going to come with, it's going to be a normal wave, but with a challenge added onto it. Of course, if you have toggled the 2 challenges modifier, it's going to have 2 challenges on it. Or if you've toggled the 3 challenges, it's going to have 3 challenges on it. But basically, these challenges are just there to make the wave more difficult and more interesting. Like there could be a challenge where it's like really foggy and you can't really see very far, or maybe, I don't know, it's like only heavy tanks in this wave. Maybe it like spawns twice as many enemies in this wave. Or something that would be really cool to have as a challenge where it would just rain Goliaths out of the sky. So then eventually, if you don't beat the wave quick enough, there's just Goliaths everywhere because they've been raining out of the sky. I think that would be really cool. Otter, please add this. And then every once in a while, you could get the option to play a wave where it's just pretty much a completely different mode for one wave. Let's say there's an imposter mode where one player wins the wave if the other 2 players die. Of course, this wave type would only be available for 3 or more players, and then the other players, they would win if the imposter dies, right? It would be really fun. A convoy where the other players are trying to protect one player who gets like a special truck for this wave. He has to get somewhere, except he has like barely any hit points, and the other players need to like protect him as he gets there. I think that would be really cool. So yeah, wave types. You would get to just every wave would be so different, right? There would be so much variety, so much replayability, which I think is really, really important for a game like this. Anyways, the next idea that I have for Tonk is abilities. The enemies would also get to use abilities, but so would the players, right? And you wouldn't start with any abilities, but you could spend components or maybe a different kind of currency that you collect through battles to purchase and upgrade your abilities. And then considering that there's also friendly fire in this game, I think it would be really, really, really fun for if I ever wanted to, I could just turn around and like use my knockback shot to launch my ally into orbit. I think that would be really fun. But also it would be like really good for like people who don't want to kill their teammates and want to just play the game and like have fun playing the game without killing their teammates, which I'm sure is possible, but killing teammates is really fun too. So make it make killing teammates even cooler. Okay, I guess you probably want some examples of some abilities other than knockback shot. There could be like an EMP burst where like if you're ever surrounded by enemies, you can use this and it's going to like completely disable their tanks for like 5 seconds. Or if you really want to screw your teammate, you could EMP burst him too. There could be like a rocket boosters, so you could like once they add ramming damage again, you could just absolutely go and ram into something and like steal all of its hit points in one rocket powered ram. Or if you really wanted to, you could rocket power ram into your allies. I think that would also be pretty fun. Something that like increases your fire rate for like a short period of time, like a lot. Like it could turn you into like a minigun if you haven't already upgraded yourself into a minigun. And then abilities that enemy tanks could use would be like the same things like EMP bursts, knockback shots, um, and then you should give all the bosses like the earthquake ability, where like everything around them takes damage and gets like pushed back. Because right now the bosses are so massive, you can just go and like sit behind them, and they don't have the gun depression to hit you. So do this so that people can't like abuse the boss's size to just easily farm them. Ooh, a really cool ability would be you could spawn your very own Goliath. Yes, I like the Goliath. It's pretty cool. But like imagine you can just like spawn your very own little tiny remote controlled bomb. Obviously though the best ability would be Cuz T's foot, and what you would do is you would enable it and then you would choose someone and then this massive foot would just come out of the sky and kick them and just send them straight into the void. That would be the best ability. If you guys don't think it's an awesome ability, you're hopeless. Anyways, Otter, please add abilities. It would be so cool and so fun. Not that TONK isn't already fun, it's just abilities would make it even more fun. Anyways, if you guys have any suggestions, drop them in the comments below, and then if I think they're really good suggestions, I might even make a video about them. And then you will be regarded as like a really cool person. And if you really want to be truly a Giga Chad, make sure you subscribe and also join my Discord server, link in the description. I would appreciate it. Because we're kinda lonely. Forsmo's in my server, and so is Otter. Don't you want to be like those guys? They're pretty cool.